Hello guys, welcome back to 1878 Blues. Listen, we know the season's over. I did a late reaction, if you haven't seen already, to the Arsenal game. Yes, not probably the best video to watch, as you know, most of us fans didn't really give a shit that we lost the game 5-1. It was a late reaction. Well, it wasn't a late reaction. I was in France on holiday, and yeah, I just couldn't upload the video at all when I was over there, so I was a bit frustrated, but it is what it is. So yeah, now the season's over, I've got nothing to upload. And I'm thinking of ideas, and I've seen people doing the same type of videos, and I might have to go on that route just to get that bit of consistency with this channel, and yeah, just get some content out there. But along the way, I'll be thinking of new ideas. But for now, I'm going to talk about the transfer rumours. Well, not even transfer rumours, actually. I'm going to discuss what I think we should get in the summer. Listen, we know what our squads are capable of. We know what they're not capable of. We know that defensively we are an absolute show. I'm not going to ignore the fact that the past few weeks we've done well better defensively in defence. And you could say to yourself, was that the manager's issue? Was that just because of the situation we was in? They put that extra 10-20% in every game. We just don't know. Now, throughout the years, this defence hasn't been great, but it hasn't put us in a situation where we was in. Could you blame that with the midfield? Could you blame that with the attack? And for on. This team we have should have never been in a situation they was. I'm not saying they're exactly a great team. I think the highest they could have possibly finished 11th, 12th. I don't think they're good enough for top half, personally. But from what they produced over the years, you know, we should be reaching top 10 in a sense. But I think other sides and the Premier League's getting stronger. I just don't think we are as good as other teams, basically, in the league, most teams in the league. But certainly we shouldn't have been fighting relegation. I think there was a few more teams worse than us. Teams were bad throughout the 21-22 season until they got like a takeover like Newcastle, a change of managers and whatnot. I think we changed our manager quite late, but maybe they just didn't want to keep changing them, you know what I mean? Let's just stick with them. Let's just see how it works. The players might wake up. The manager might make a few changes and whatnot to how he normally does things, just so we can get out of this mess. You know, they just didn't want to keep recruiting managers, but it got to the point in February that we were so low, you know, we had to change because I just couldn't see us getting out of it. And throughout the squad, you know, like I said, we've struggled defensively, and yes, maybe it might need, you know, I've never been a big Michael Keane fan. I still don't think he's good enough for us. I don't think he's the player who's going to get us or stay with us when we want to improve, in a sense. You know, I think we just need to find someone a bit more athletic. He is just, like I've said in a lot of videos, he's a desperate defender. Reminds me a bit of a Jagielka, even though I love Jags. We just need to move on from him. I don't think he's done enough for us since he's been here. Yes, he got that vital goal against Palace, which I'll, you know, forever love him from. You know, for him doing that, I'll forever love him for that. But realistically, I don't think he's good enough to be here. And I'm not going to talk about every single player, just players in particular, like Holgate as well. Holgate's never really been good enough, never really improved. He's always been the same Holgate, I feel, since, you know, I first seen him play. I think the wing backs are fine. Coleman, I think he could stay for another year, but he shouldn't. You know, we want Patterson next season to be consistently playing for us. You know, but we don't know if he's good enough yet. But from what I've seen from him, I like him. As you can tell, I didn't speak about Pickford because he should be here no matter what. I don't think we're in a position to get a real top quality goalkeeper, even though I still think Pickford's a very, very good goalkeeper. I don't think he's the issue at the club. But you never know, a team could go for him. Maybe, like, I don't know who, but there could be a team just outside the top 5, maybe West Ham, Fabianski might want to get off, who knows. Someone might go in for him. You just never know. But we do need, like, I think Begovic is sad to be the second goalkeeper. You never really have a fantastic goalkeeper, don't you, in any club. You know, Man City with Stefan, don't rate him that much, but Man City are a massive club. It's hard to get a very good goalkeeper in reserve just because they're the type of goalkeepers or type of player, type of person who wants to be playing. Midfield, personally, I think I'll let Alan go. I just think we need someone a bit more, again, athletic. I think this league's so different. You can have the balance sometimes with the Corey and Allen. Sounds perfect, doesn't it? One's slower, one's faster. You know, it's a bit more athletic, runs off the ball, covers the space, and then Allen's there to just block everything off. But it just hasn't worked. I hoped it would. I do like Allen for his passion. You know, I just like a player like that. We haven't had a player like that since we had in the David Moyes era with Carsley, Glavison, and many other players we've had in the centre mid who have got stuck in. But he's just, I just think he's too slow for this league, unfortunately. Decore, I'm gonna be honest, I think Decore is a potential to leave. You know, I think we need to move on from a player. Like, he's just not done much, to be honest. He's had his really good moments, really good games, but it's just so inconsistent. And maybe that's why they're at Everton, because we gave players a chance who have been inconsistent or decent at a lower league club or whatnot, and we took a chance on him and he just haven't worked out, and he's just not been for me, to be honest. Decore now, I think he needs to. I think this season's proved that he just hasn't got it in him to perform well in most games, which we need if we want to improve. You know, wingers as well. Townsend, it's a difficult one with Townsend because he was in the situation with us when we was really low. I would like to see him in the situation we was in towards the end if he got any better or started playing well again, because at the start of the season he's one of our best players. I'll probably keep him for another season. You know, he's a different type of player. We know what he does. Damari Gray, very inconsistent again, but when he had good games, he really was good, so I'd probably keep him. But I feel like we need someone like a Dwight McNeil, maybe. I think just because you're thinking of the finances we have, and also good in terms of his English as well, you know, communication throughout the team. As it is hard sometimes when you get a foreign player who struggles to communicate, it can be an issue. So maybe him, Dwight McNeil, probably wants to stay in the Premier League. You know, he doesn't live too far from Burnley. It could be a good move for us. And we, like I said, not like I said, but we was reported to sign him in the summer or in January, and we just didn't get him. So I think he'll be a good player for us. He probably is inconsistent, but he's been playing at a side which don't have many attacking opportunities like they would hope to, because of, you know, the type of team they are and who they are. Maybe on a bigger side, a better club and whatnot, it could be better for him. So who knows? But I would, you know, for finance reasons, I think it'll be a better move for us. We'll get him on a cheap. Maybe like also centre mid as well. In terms of what our biggest issue I thought last season as well was we lost a lot of games by one goal. We lost a lot of games by one goal, and yes, defensively was awful, but we couldn't take a risk too much going up front because we'll leave our space behind and we'll eventually concede another or whatnot, or we was just too scared to because we didn't want to be out of the game, but we didn't take a much risk going forward to draw the game, because I feel like us from Southampton and Crystal Palace, I think especially Southampton, they drew a lot of games, but, you know, lost less. But I think we had more wins than Southampton. I'm not too sure overall. And he was comfortable throughout the season, really. And I think that's just a massive difference. Is, you know, drawing games as well instead of just losing them. For motivation in terms of getting unbeaten, having a few streaks of unbeaten games, and just for confidence and whatnot. And just, you know, when you're beaten, and it can start playing with you mentally. And I think also for points as well, you know, it's an extra point. It does guide you, just help you in whatever you're trying to do in the league. It's better than nothing, and we lost 21 games or 22 games last season, and it's simply not good enough. And I think a lot of games we could have drawn. like especially like Wolves at home, Brentford away and shit like that. So I think looking at that, I really think we need a creative midfielder, centre attack and mid, whatever formation wants to use. You know, we've lost Gylfi for reasons, and Hammers, and we haven't really replaced them. We just bought a lot of wingers. We tried to play a Wobie through the middle as well, which kind of worked and didn't. And I think we need someone like a Conor Gallagher, but I can't see Chelsea letting him go. I feel like Chelsea would like to bring him up now. I think he's good enough to play in the Prem. I think they'll let the likes of Ross Barkley leave. Who knows? He might come back to us, and it could be cheap. You know, we've got to think of finances here because we haven't got we can't spend as much unless we sell. And yeah, we could, you know, even like a Christian Eriksen. Who knows? You know, maybe he might go to Tottenham because of the whole Conte thing. They just bought Perisic today. We just have to find out. But like, that's my main thing. You know, I think defensively as well, Tarkowski, but I just feel like he's a bit of a desperate defender as well. And yeah, I can't really think of many players we can get, to be honest, because of the finances. Maybe we have to look at a few of the Championship players, the teams that didn't come up, like Huddersfield and Luton, or any players there who are decent, any loan signings from big clubs in the Premier League. You know, we just have to look into that perspective because we cannot just splash the money unless we sell the likes of Calvert-Lewin or Richarlison, who, let's be honest, is the only players who are going to give us good revenue. But like Andre Gomez, I think he needs to get off, maybe get a few million for them. Iwobi, I was going to say, I never thought to say this, but I'd like Iwobi to stay. I think he's proven himself with the hard work he's put in. You know, hopefully try and get rid of Tosin, even if it's just for a free, get him off the wage bill. Rondon needs to leave, you know. There's just a few players there, dingling dangling, who are not really doing much and they need to go. If you really want to progress, let's be honest, Fabian Delph needs to go, even though he played well and helped when he could in the moments we needed him at the end of the season. But simply, he's got a big wage bill, and we can't afford that all the time for players who don't play more than 10 games. Like Yerry Mina as well. You know, Yerry Mina, I love him to bits, but he has to go. We need to be ruthless, and we just need to save every bit of money we can, and try and invest into the squad, because the squad seriously needs investing. Hopefully next season we're not unlucky with the injuries as well. I know it sounds like a little excuse, but we haven't got the size of squad to cope with the amount of injuries we had. I think we had the highest injury rate as well in the Premier League. I'm pretty sure someone told me that. But yeah, the striker as well. You know, we need a good backup striker. Let's be honest, you know, if Calvert-Lewin's out again, or, you know, if he stays, who knows? I could give you all these rumours, but we don't know who's going, and it's only just started, basically, in terms of transfer stuff. So I would like to have two decent strikers at the club. You know, one doesn't have to be amazing, score 25 goals, but they both chip in, that would be ideal. But yeah, if one's injured, like it has been, Dominic Calvert-Lewin throughout most of the season, then you get the likes of Rondon and Richarlison playing for the middle. It just doesn't work for them. We're going to struggle again. So, but like I said, I think our main thing is centre attack and mid. Yeah, we